Here, finally, is my review of the Jakks Pacific Item 403592, the Gremlins Countdown Calendar, released on 20 July of 2020. If you want additional information about the Gremlins franchise and about some of the character names featured in Gremlins 2, the new batch, you may wish to check out my previous videos. Gremlins is a holiday reskin of Rock and Roll High School, as well as my take on John Steinbeck's novella of Mice and Men. I will link those in the description. Let's take a look at this calendar. At first glance, the box is rather large, being approximately 12 inches by 16 inches. The front of the box is rather plain. It's just a basic white with some words, and we do see a gremlin coming through a tear in the cover. Gizmo over there on the right, and Gizmo's shadow, of course, is Stripe. And it does say it comes with slime. We have 35 pieces spread over 31 days. So are you supposed to go from November 25th until December 25th, or just do December 1st and run all the way through to New Year's? I guess that's entirely up to you. As we know, Gremlins is indeed one of the best Christmas movies ever made, and in my opinion is a wonderful choice for an advent calendar. Taking a look at the back of the box, we see the lovely display. A lot of attention has been taken here to replicate the Kingston Falls movie theater. We do see several gremlins scattered into the art, and it appears that the theater seating is able to be folded up for more of a 3D display. There are 24 theater seats in all. Looking at the gremlins scattered around the artwork on the back of the box, it's difficult to tell which are actually included inside and which are just part of the scene itself. Not wanting to mutilate the doors and keep this as a very nice display, I instead opened the box itself and just pulled out the tray, and that's why the box still looks really nice. With the box completely open now and the tray fully exposed, I can see that not only does it include some of the characters from the first film, but also Gremlins 2, the new batch. So we're going to talk about the contents here and then the pros and the cons. For scale, I will again be using Imaginext Mystery Series 9, number 41, the Grim Reaper, as Imaginext Jerry. As far as I know, Jakks Pacific does not make any action figures, and these Imaginext ones are really nice to show the scale of these things, because the gremlins are supposed to be between 1 and 3 feet tall. And looking at these gremlins, 3 of them is approximately the height of Imaginext Jerry here. A lot of these names, as a fan of the franchise, I was aware that many of the characters had proper names or were referred to as such in the script and things of that nature. And research has been done here using gremlins.fandom.com, where I've also posted individual pictures of everything nice and close up. So starting off with day 1, we have Gizmo. There are a number of paint steps on Gizmo. You can see he's got his fingers and toes around his mouth. He's got the brown around his eye and some various patches to make him look like Steven Spielberg's dog at the time. Day 2 is sort of a dud, but is important in the evolution of these things. Apparently Gizmo has gotten wet, and here is one of the fur balls that has sprouted from wet, unhappy Gizmo. Day 3, we have Mogwai Stripe. Again, a number of paint steps utilized here, and he does continue the brown and white color scheme that we saw with Gizmo. And as we know, Stripe has snuck a snack after hours. So on day 4, we are presented one of the gremlin cocoons and a bag of slime. Day 5 shows us not Stripe, but just a generic green unnamed gremlin. Day 6, we have Stripe in gremlin form, with his mohawk there, the much longer ears. Day 7 brings the first of our special gremlins. This one was not seen until later in the film, but here we have him on day 7. Day 8 brings us our second of the green generic gremlins. Day 9, unfortunately, appears to be another furball. Day 10 brings us Daffy, the first of our new batch. And he is notable for trying to tell Kate, hey, I'm not Gizmo. Day 11, we have Mohawk in Mogwai form, allegedly a reincarnation of Stripe, also part of the new batch. Day 12, we have a cocoon with slime, again. Day 13 brings us the George Gremlin from the new batch. Day 14 brings us George's partner Lenny, part of the new batch. Day 15 brings us the first of our brown gremlins from the new batch. Day 16, we have Lenny in gremlin form. Day 17, we have the George Mogwai. Day 18, we have the Rambo Gizmo with his red headband. He does not, however, come with a bow or arrows. Day 19, the electric gremlin. Day 20, we actually have Mohawk in gremlin form. It would have been nice if we had a figure of his spider form, which he eventually turned into, but we do not have that. Day 21 is a gremlin skeleton. Really nice. Day 22, the third and final of our green gremlins. Day 23, Daffy Gremlin, who met his demise off-screen, courtesy of the electric gremlin. Day 24, Christmas Eve, Gizmo wearing a Santa hat. Day 25, Stripe wearing a Santa outfit. And day 26, Stripe Mogwai with a chicken leg, which kind of goes back to where all of the cocoons came from. Day 27, the second of our brown gremlins. Day 28 is interesting. It's the popcorn bag gremlin from the first movie, but he's got the color scheme of the second film. Interesting. Day 29, gremlin skeleton with slime. Day 30, very quick cameo here of the Phantom of the Opera gremlin. And wrapping things up on day 31 is Greta, the sole survivor of the second film where everybody else was destroyed by the electric gremlin. So some of the pros here. The scale is excellent. It takes approximately 3 of these gremlins figures to equal the height of Jerry, so that's very nice. The execution, a lot of detail went into each of these figures, went into the artwork on the inside of the fold-out display. The sheer awesomeness of the inside of the display kind of makes up for the rather bland exterior of the box itself. So this was really cool. The paint steps. None of the paint steps appear to have been missed or misplaced. Whoever was doing the QA on this did a wonderful job. Some of the cons, removal of the individual figures from the plastic inside was very difficult. In some situations, I had to pry them out. There were a number of characters missing. From the first film, the Mugger Gremlin was not here. From Gremlins 2, the new batch, we have a number of really cool gremlins that just were not here. Brain, the Bat Gremlin, the Veggie Gremlin, and of course, Mohawk in his spider form. There are a number of duplicates here. We wind up with 2 skeletons, 2 generic brown and 3 generic green. I suppose if you are far more skilled than I in the sculpting department, you could probably take some of these spares and make them into the Mugger, Brain, the Bat Gremlin, the Veggie Gremlin, etc. And I suppose you could even take a Halloween spider and do Mohawk in his spider form. The stability on some of these gremlins, you probably want to do something with hot water followed by an ice bath to get the figures to stand up on their own. Other than that, I'm thinking that this was very cool, and figures are a really great scale to use with the Imaginext figures. As always, Jerry's Junk Drawer is conveniently located 60 miles south of Phoenix in beautiful historic Fort Stinkin' Desert. Open noon to midnight on the 6th Tuesday of every month, excluding national and regional holidays, or visit our eBay store, Jerry's Junk Drawer. Thank you for watching, and thank you for encouraging my behavior.